Generic greetings and welcome back to Gunsmith. In the previous episode we started to make a line that could produce 9mm. Now as you can see it's fairly cramped in because I got to about this point and I don't own this part of the factory, which is strange, but that's just how it is. So we've had to sort of cram it all in. Now we can change this around later on, A, if we buy this section here, and B, if we decide to expand over to the left, but I think the main priority at the moment is to simply get this working and then we know what the load balancing is and things like that. So let's just go back over to the cookbook and down to the 9mm, and we've built everything from this section all the way down to the right. On the left hand side, however, this is where we haven't done any of it, so we need to crack on with that. We've just got a new order there. I'm just going to check to make sure that we'll see if we can fulfill any. Well, the combat boots is almost going to be done, so I'll just wait for that to be accepted because the combat boots will be done probably quite sharpish. Do we have any orders just for singular gloves? We really don't, and that's not really that surprising. Although there's one for the combat backpack and some camo gloves, although we have sold a fair few of them now. Back over to this one and we'll hand that in. We could turn the glove machine back on for a little while just to produce some more of that, because if we go over to our, where is it, resources here, yes, we can see that the camo gloves, I keep calling them combat and camo, I know, it's, I know there are differences, just hey ho, that's what I've been calling them. But yes, we got 140 on that one there. So anyway, orders, available orders, loads on there, but you know what, we got 222,000, so I'm not going to worry too much. The fabric sheet has gone quite far down in price, so I'm going to order 10,000 of those. The plastic block sadly is not that cheap, so I'm not going to order that, but we do have a fair amount there anyway. Okay, so back over to the cookbook and the 9mm bullets. We now need to get a form capper. So in the, I'll guess it'll be in forming? Yes, it is. It is the form capper. There it is there. Quite a small machine. I'm surprised about that. It's quite a small machine. Where does that go into, by the way? It goes into... yeah, where does that go into? Hang on. If I mess something up here. Almost certainly yes. In there? Ah! Here. There's the problem. I did see this slot, and I must confess, I never mentioned it in the last episode, but when I was putting it here, I went, oh, there's a weird slot there. I wonder what that does. Ah! We know what it does now, don't we? Right. Let's sort this out then. So, yes, that should be acceptable. Not much gappage. That's a word now. But I'm actually going to use less belts anyway, or fewer belts. There you go. And it'll go in there. Like that. Alright. That should still function. Right, let's continue on then. So, it was one of those, back to cookbook, 9mm. So we've got our bullet primer, form capper, which is... I have no idea how that's going to work. In there, is it? Yes. Yes, it is. How is that even going to function? Don't know if it will. I'm assuming it just slides down or something. Oh well, we'll just have to see. If we need a shaker. So, where would that be? Oh, it'll be the one called shaker. It lines them up. You don't have to have them like that, do you? No, you don't. That's very strange. Okay. So, in there, We'll set that to, which one? 9mm formed. There we go. We do have options for the other stuff as well. Now we need this hardened. It says cold, hot and then cold. Is that just the, is it just trying to say that that's the, that's like a heat treatment? Heating it up and then cooling it again? Is that all it's trying to point out? I'm guessing so. I'll put them right next to each other. We'll see. So, that there. And then you want the bullet extruder. Forming. Oh, that's a nice looking machine. As machines go, you understand. Yeah, that'll just go dunk, 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 dunk. So it's just a press. Actually, it's an extruder. It's just, but the bullet puncher is a press, which we'll place it now. And again, try and get it in. Oh no. It'll go in there. Oh, but you can move it like that, can you? Yeah. That's interesting. And then it goes in there. But that's just a brass roll. That'll be under dispensing. Which we'll put there. And that'll come out as one big sheet, will it? I think it will. That'll probably come out as one big sheet. And then it'll get chopped up there. So I'm probably going to have to put that like this, you see. So I think that'll come out as one big sheet and just fly off the end of the line. With different properties. Right, so brass sheet. There's the brass sheet there, as you can see, spinning round. And then that'll just feed it. That's not cutting at all. This is what cuts it. And you'll get waste coming out of here. At least that's what you should get. Whether or not any of that happens, I have no idea. So, let's just check all the outputs. It looks to me like that is functional. Well, let's just do some orders and we'll see if that is actually the case. So, in terms of orders, that's a decent one. As always, we're now getting a lot of orders for things we can't make. 9mm. We are making profit. There's a decent one. And now we're getting things like 0.45. Yeah. Oh, and a loads here. Oh, and they're actually wanting an SA Mark 1, which, well, we can't get because we've not even got that unlocked. Unlocking these is actually not a good idea, I think, because you start getting orders for things that you've researched but not got a line for. That's an issue. Line control, we're going to add a line. It's going to be 9mm. Or is it 9mm? 9mm. And we'll just add all these machines. So it doesn't really matter which order you add them, I believe. I think just add them away. Some of these you can't even turn off, I don't think. I think the heat one and stuff you can't. We can't power it on, we just don't have the capacity for it. So what we'll do is we'll knock off something around the factory. So what have we got loads of? As always, gloves is a prime target. Power off that one. That gives us still not enough energy. I don't think we'll have enough energy. We do. Here we go. Oh no, it is actually outputting strips, so it looks like it is cutting it. And that's forming bullets. Oh, look at that there, yeah. And then that should be the heat treatment. Shakes the waste out. That's not working. Oh god. Right, stop the line. Stop. Stop. Nope. Oh dear. Okay, so they're going there. They're not flowing. Is that is the right way? That is the right way, but it ain't correct. I'm going to have a lifty belt. Is that right? I'm hoping what's coming out the line is correct anyway. Right, we're going to have to move this back over then, aren't we? Assuming that's in there. We have to have a belt up 2 meters. Like that. And we technically could fit these in by doing... No, that's just not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. Let's not try and mess things up too much. Right, so move these back over like so. I'm hoping that this still does work, but there's only one way to find out. Now, these should still be all connected. For the control line, I mean. Right, let's try that again. Please don't break. Bullets are flying out still. There we go, that's better. That's better. Don't like that the way it flies out there. And it's not getting the right ones. Okay. Troubleshooting. What have we got wrong? Inputs. 9mm extruded. What is that it's... What's getting moved off then? Resources. 9mm extruded. We have loads of it. What am I missing? Or was I just not accepting them all? I don't know. Was that not correct? Obviously not. Is it because they're not... Is it to do with this heat treating? Nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. Right. It just says full extruded, then heat treatment, then shakes waste. I'm gonna have to troubleshoot this 1 second. 1 moment. Okay, and we're back. As you can see, it is now functioning, although I should probably turn that machine on. The problem was that I hadn't added the shaker, or the... Apparently I hadn't added... Well, I thought I hadn't added the cooler, but it does say it's been added there. The cooler and the shaker weren't on. Now, yeah, it may seem obvious now, but I thought that was just standard animation. I didn't spin round and check the light on it, which is my fault. But it now seems to be working. As you can see, we've got these boxes coming out there and then going into here, which will then hopefully start making the 9mm primed. Yes, it is. Okay. This has been working fine on the left, where we've got the gun cotton and other such things. That is fine. I'm just going to see if this now is producing. Yes, that seems to be topped. Then we've got the 9mm here. Coming along. Yep, there we go. That's boxed. And that should be 3 9mm bullets boxed. I think that's it. By Jove, I think he's got it. I did try multiple things over here, by the way, not knowing that it was the shaker that was the issue. Because it, frankly, doesn't tell you. What we've got outputting... Well, the couple of things that I tried... Firstly, I tried shifting this over to the angles that I've got here, because I wanted to know whether this was simply sliding in and clipping through or something weird like that. But no, as you can see, it does go into the machine, which looks really strange, but it does work. And then I tried splitting up this heat treatment. Originally I thought that if these two were next to each other it wasn't doing the heat treatment correctly. I also checked on the interwebs and just to make sure that everything was correct there, and it is this heat treatment here where it says hardened does mean heat it up to whatever that says and then cool it down to 0, and that's what those two do. I also then put a space in it to make sure that it wasn't, again, I'm just some clipping issues, so yeah, at least sorted that out. But it does look like we are producing the 9mm. Not in any great quantity because obviously we've got like a massive problem in load balancing, but yeah. One of the problems that you do have is that if I go over to my resources, you can see we've got loads of these extruded here. If I go to Hoover, I can hoover all these up, and it does hoover them all up. They're still classed as 9mm extruded, but they haven't been through the full process. So in the cookbook, in here, even though we are getting the 9mm extruded, and that's what we've got in our pocket, they haven't, and they have technically been through the heat treatment. It doesn't say that they've been through the heat treatment, and also it doesn't say that the waste is being shaken. I would assume you'd shake the waste before you do the heat treating, because you don't want to heat treat waste, because that's, well, a waste. But anyway, it does seem to be functioning. So we've got all that coming out there, that's working, that's going in, and we are producing the 9mm. Currently got 14. I'm just going to wait for the next one to come off. I have experienced, though, some fairly major glitches. Like, for example, this thing will always output the bullets even when there's no input in it, and yes, I know you get like 100 bullets or whatever for each one of those, but it just seemed to continue on. The problems with these controls are a bit iffy. That one seems to be working, but then some, like that one's working because I reset those, but then that one doesn't. Or it's like lost all the machines on there, and yeah, I don't know what's going on there. And I've just had some like other weird stuff happen, so I think it is just a case of, because we've continued the save over from multiple levels, then that's why it's happening, which is a bit of a shame, but I think we'll have to just admit defeat and move on. That's 9, and there's the last one, and we finally should now have a box. There we go, our very first box of 9mm, which then goes there because we got no storage. Hang on a second. Orders, available orders, and again, look, this is an issue that we just can't solve because we've got so much stuff researched now. There we go, there's all that handed in. Because we've got loads of stuff now, research, it's giving us jobs for things we can't even make. Yeah, but, you know, that's how it is. It's just, well, unless that gets fixed, I don't like it, put it that way, but you can easily work around it. The tip is just to not research anything that you don't plan on building straight away. So I've got .45 ACP, or 45 point ACP, that says, I think. No, hang on, it does say 45 point ACP there, where it does say the proper .45 ACP. Yeah, they've got the points moved up, and then .22 LR. So I've got those two researched. I don't plan on making them for a long time. I was going to go for 9mm, but I've got so many orders in here for the .45 and stuff. Yeah, that's a problem. But hey ho. Anyway, I think we will leave it there and indeed call it for the series. Having a look back at the game, it's just, if there's going to be patches that, you know, break these saves, or at least potentially break it, I don't want to go ahead and shove a lot of campaign time into it. But like what I've seen so far, I like these machines that they're all they're not just straight shots, so you have to work around them. But yeah, it does have a really decent start, I think. Just obviously needs to squish some bugs and you know, chop and change things around, but that's what early access is for. Either way, hope you have enjoyed the series as it was. I think we got a fair bit out of it, and at least we did produce some actual Gunsmith stuff. Obviously didn't end up making any of the pistol production stuff, or any of these pistols here, but actually I think there's only the one, isn't there? Yeah, you've got the SA Mark 1 and Mark 2, but yeah, I didn't make any of that. But you do need a trustworthy, which is 400 reputation, with the National Army, which we are nowhere near to getting. Actually, I say we're nowhere near. I don't know. Let's have a look at our orders and clients. National Army 193, National Army 36, Intelligence Agency. So it would have to be on 36. So yeah, it's actually Gerald Smith from the US over here, and yeah, we just need to do more orders for him, which what we were going for anyway. So yeah, and we should be able to get that sooner rather than later. But there you go. That has been a bit of Gunsmith. Hope you have enjoyed the video on the series. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.